Hey guys, Casey Magixwell here with Art of Divine Touch and the Muse Effect for the week. We are doing our full moon reading for December 3rd, 2017. Oh, we're coming to the end of this year, guys. It has been a crazy transformational and transitional process for everybody. This full moon is in Gemini. So we are really calling in a balance of our feminine and our masculine side, as well as our light side and our shadow side. It's a supermoon, so it's going to be the closest to the earth at this present moment. And it also means that it's a even more heightened time for reflection because the moon is closer. It is magnifying all of that energy within us, all of that mystical mama magic within us. So, going to do a full moon reading with my WildWood Tarot-Dec. This is the deck that I normally use for those of you who have watched my previous divination videos. This deck used to be the Greenwood deck back in Europe in the 1800s, and it at some point had been an occult status, considered occult status or black magic, and they had stopped making them or selling them, and a few brilliant people and a brilliant artist who were in alignment with these cards or inspired by these cards and the really grounded earth vibrational energy that it brings to the table, kind of recreated it and made it something new, more enlightening, more empowering, just as grounded. So thank you for being present with me. We are pulling for our Gemini full moon. I'm going to shuffle 3 times and pull 3 cards. And each shuffle and each moment that I do these sessions with the cards, I'm always calling in my ancestors, my guides, my higher selves, my deities, as well as really wanting to tap into the collective consciousness. So this goes far past just myself or my circle of family and friends, but into the whole human collective and all other beings and how we are all integrated. So the first card that I have pulled is the Sun of Life. This is really great because this shows us coming into a place where we are believing in our full potential again. We are really seeing the possibility of how Source expresses itself through us and embraces the rest of the world. This is symbolic through the warmth of the sun, the power of the sun, the essence of light that is within all things and flows through us and continues to light up the world around us. This is about grounding yourself in your foundations, your dreams, being empowered, and being resilient, but really opening up yourself to embracing others and that warmth that you have to offer and the inspiration that you have to offer. So as a collective consciousness, it's really showing us that we have the full possibility of reaching and attaining any goal that we could ever have. This physical reality, this third dimension, is meant for a deeper form of expression and bliss, and to experience all of those things in unison through what we create and what we manifest, and to see ourselves in the form of being master creators and to know where that full potential and that creative inspiration comes from. So collectively we can come together and create an entire world, an entire universe of existence within and around us that is loving, that is compassionate, that is nurturing, that is fruitful, that is abundant, filled with love and filled with peace. So this is really sweet. This Gemini moon is also bringing with us the eel, the Knight of Vessels, and this was upside down. So the eel card here is showing us that we're not being adventurous enough. We are not going out and expressing ourselves and our central power and the level of intimacy that it takes to be present with the earth, present with ourselves and with others, without getting confused about that level of intimacy. Much of the world that we live in has a different perspective of how intimacy should be, that we almost don't even look each other in the eyes long enough to deeply connect past this point of assuming that we get so deep and personal with people that we assume that there's a next step to take place, as if to be in a relationship or to instantly feel some kind of sexual prowess. And that's not always the case. You can feel those things for someone without putting a boundary line or a weight or a guilt on yourself. So this card really shows us upside down that collectively in the consciousness there's still a lot of cheating going on, a lot of conquests in the wrong direction, or not being completely open and expressive with ourselves in a sensual way, in a positive way, and how that information is getting misconstrued and misinterpreted in the world that we're creating, and how we respect ourselves and how we respect others as well, and what our ultimate attainable goal is when it comes to loving unconditionally and being intimate with ourselves and with others, and understanding that intimacy doesn't always mean sexuality. This card plays an important role there with that collective consciousness, as well as showing a little bit of imbalance in our masculinity because of its inversion. And that is our middle card. With the third card for our Gemini full moon, we have the Knight of Stones, the horse. So far, we've had the Sun of Life, a hierarchy card, and two knights, really tapping into our masculine energy here. The horse shows a time and a need for more physical stamina, more adventure, more traveling. So as a collective consciousness, with how I personally perceive where the world is, even within our government, within the ecosystems, with certain cultures and how people perceive each other, that they may not be traveling or experiencing or feel based on the government or religious values. Maybe they don't feel that they can travel or experience other culture. But if we could share in that, and if we could really have that level of physical stamina that it takes to get up and experience this world to the fullest, we would embody this horse. It is also really symbolic of us getting to a new place within our work or career lives. So as a collective consciousness, it would mean how we work together. And once again, what is our attainable goal in how we work together, and what employment looks like for people as a whole in the future. So this is all about manifesting. If this card was upside down, it would also be really symbolic of rebellion. And since we're coming into the crunch time of ending this year and heading into a new year, all of these are signs of our fullest potential and what we can possibly achieve in the coming year, from believing in our abundance, believing in our possibility, our gifts, our talents, everything that we have to share with others, staying inspired and remembering where the heart of that inspiration comes from, and then being able to flow with our adventurous side, our intimacy, our sensual side, our masculine side, and comfortably embrace people in a more loving and positive way without all the judgment. That we also take on this level of new stamina, new strength, even more adventure, and traveling, getting to experience life in a more empowered way where we can gallantly ride off into the distance without fear and without worry of any specific outcome, because we have trust and the most positive possible outcome. In the past, with some of the other full moon readings I've done, you may have noticed we've had a lot of inverted cards, especially after the eclipse. If you go back and watch for the eclipse reading specifically, we went through a transformational period of a lot of shadow work needing to be done, a lot of deeper moon work. And this supermoon is bringing us into a collective transitional period to where we can take all of the shadow work we've been doing and put it full speed ahead and really manifesting the next phase and the next step in our lives. This is such a sweet release for everybody. we are also going into a Mercury retrograde. And because the supermoon is happening, it's so close to the Earth. Like we talked about briefly in the beginning, there's a lot of inner reflection taking place. And it's going to weigh so much on people to clean out what they feel may be stuck in their souls, or maybe they're still judging themselves, that this Mercury retrograde, this inner reflection with the supermoon, we're going to tap into that in everybody, not just ourselves, but we're going to feel it as energy is released from the planet and as it is radiated into us and others. In this way, we are also clearing karmic cycles and living through and experiencing things that need to play out for us to get more in alignment with a smoother path of creating new positive outcomes. With that, I hope this brought a little bit of insight around what the full moon is bringing and how we can reflect within ourselves about the next steps that we're taking and how it affects others, and how we can really change the world as a whole just through our positive influence, our positive self-talk, and really doing the deep inner work that we need to do, and not judging ourselves or others, and not denying ourselves of all our personalities, all our characteristics, everything that makes up who we are, light to dark, to be full in control of that. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. I'm definitely going to be making another video later going deeper into the concept of intimacy and how it is easily misinterpreted. And if you guys have any questions or any comments, please feel free to leave them below. I've been getting a lot of positive feedback, and I'd love more inspiration around making new videos. Thanks for tuning in.